Okay, now here's some proportions and ratios that are going to be applied. That's what the standard's called. It's called ratios and proportions. It says, what's the lowest price? Okay, $25 for 2 shirts, $45 for 4 shirts, $30 for 3 shirts. It's not 25 for 2. Okay, you see that's the lowest price, but you're not getting as many shirts. So really, I don't know what the better deal is. Okay. Now, I'm going to divide in order to find what's called a unit rate, okay? It's the same as a per, okay? So, if I'm talking units, I got money and shirts. The shirts make the best, make an X unit, and then the money's Y, okay? So, I always divide the Y by the X, okay? So, I'm going to take $25 divided by 2. I'm going to take $45 divided by 4, and I'm going to take $30 divided by 3. 25 divided by 2 is 12.5. That means $12.50 per shirt. 45 divided by 4, that's going to be $11.25 per shirt. So far this is the cheapest. Okay, 30 divided by 3 is $10 per shirt. So the best price is your lowest price, and that would be the $10 per shirt, and that is letter C. Okay. Okay, Carl drove 408 miles in 6 hours. Car number 1 drove 408 miles in 6 hours. Car number 2 drove 365 miles in 5 hours. Who had the fastest average speed? Okay, so again, that's your miles per hour. Now again, the time unit's X, and then the miles would be Y. Okay, so it's important we again divide the Y unit by the X unit. You got to divide in that order. Okay, if you divide in the wrong order, you're going to be screwed up. Okay, so I'm going to take 408 divided by 6. And then I'm going to take 365 miles divided by 5. Okay. So I take 408 divided by 6, and that's 68 miles per hour. That's a rate of change. Okay. 365 divided by 5 is 73 miles per hour. Now it's saying who's the fastest. 73 miles per hour is faster than 68, so it's car number 2. Okay, now I'm also going to use ratios for unit conversions. Now this is different than like the way you're going to learn in science class, okay? I'm going to use proportions here. I'm not going to use the unit multipliers. If you don't know what that is, that's fine. We don't use it in here. Now some of these seem rather basic, okay? I am actually going to use proportions on all of them. If you can do it without proportions, more power to you, man. Convert 15 days to hours, and then it says 24 hours equals 1 day. Duh. Okay, so I'm going to set up a proportion. Those are 2 equal ratios. So I'm going to put 24 hours, 1 day. Now, if we're using proportions, it's important that we put the same labels right here. Okay. That's your rate, okay? Put your rate first, and then the 15 days need to go here, and then X here, because I don't know that, so I'm trying to figure out. Now I just cross multiply and divide. I take 24 times 15. It's going to be 360, and then 360 divided by 1 is 360. So 360 hours. Pretty easy. 60 feet to yards. We have a ratio that 3 feet equals 1 yard, so that's my first. And then I need to be consistent with the labels. Okay, I want to keep them in the same place. So 60 feet, so we put 60, and I don't know the yards. Now I cross multiply and divide. 1 times 60 is 60, and 60 divided by 3 equals 20 yards. Okay, my next problem, 1,000 centimeters to meters. And here I give you the ratio, 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. Okay, and I keep cm in meters, same thing. and it's 1,000 centimeters, so I put 1,000 here because it's 1,000 centimeters, and X right there. You got to make sure your labels are aligned consistently. So 1 times 1,000 is 1,000. Divide that by 100, and I get 10 meters. Okay? 15 pounds to kilograms. 2.2 kilograms is 1 pound. Okay, and then I line up kg in pounds. Now it's 15 pounds, so I got to put that here, and then X right here. Okay, so I multiply. I know the two known cross products. I multiply 2.2 times 15. You might want the calculator for that. 33, and then 33 divided by 1 is still 33. 33 kg. Okay. Next page, I'm going to do some more unit conversions, but this one's a little bit difficult, okay? 2 gallons, 3 quarts to quarts, okay? Now, I'm going to set up these ratios, and I see that 4 quarts are in 1 gallon. So quarts, gallons. Now you're like, well, what do I do? Do I do the 2 gallons or the 3 quarts? Okay. Well, I want the answer in quarts. That's what I need to convert it to. So these 3 quarts, I'm going to circle that and just forget it. Okay. Because I want to get to quarts. That's already quarts. Just forget it. We're going to use the 2. We're going to convert the 2. So 2 gallons, X quarts. 4 times 2 is 8, divided by 1 is 8. Now, those 3 that we already had, we need to add those on, and that's 11. So it's 11 quarts. Okay? So again, let's rewind that. I want to redo that one. Okay? Actually, here's what I want to do. I want you to make up a problem here. I want you to put convert 3 feet 6 inches to inches, okay? And then it's 12 inches equals 1 foot. I'll always give you the rate, okay? So I know we got 12 inches to 1 foot, then inches and feet. Now you're like, which one do I use, the 3 feet or 6 inches? Now I want to end up at inches, so this right here I just leave alone. It's the 3 feet I'm going to convert. Okay, X. So 12 times 3 is 36, divided by 1 is 36. Okay, now I need to add the 6 inches on, and it's 42 inches. Okay, if you can get to a problem like that, you need help, let me know. Okay, now the ratios can also be used with similar figures. Now you might have seen this, okay? Now, this is not a problem. This is just a demonstration. As you can see, the 8 looks most like the 12, okay? 8 would match up with 12. They're the same shape but different size, okay? So I'm going to put 8 over 12. 10 would match up with 15. 12 would match up with 18, okay? Now I'm going to divide these to prove that they're all equal. 8 divided by 12 is 0.6 repeating. 10 divided by 15 is 0.6 repeating. 12 divided by 18 is 0.6 repeating. Okay, so that proves that they're all ratios. The side ratios are equal. Now here's a problem. Calculate the length of side X. So let's take the 14. Which side on the other triangle would 14 be most like? Looks to me like it would be like the 16. So 14 and 16. It's got to be lined up like that. Now the X would be most like the 12. So X and 12. I cross multiply 14 times 12. 168. And then I divide that answer by 16. 10.5, so X equals 10.5. Now there's this little chicken scratch here, okay? 1.9 and 2.2, and then X and 3. So the 1.9 is most like the X, so I put 1.9 over X. The 2.2 is most like the 3, so 2.2 over 3. So I cross multiply 1.9 times 3, 5.7, and then I divide 5.7 by 2.2. Okay, 2.59. So x equals 2.59. Okay, round to the nearest hundredth. Okay, that's what I'd say, but there's a problem I want to look at here. Okay, remember kilometers is y, hours is x, so when I divide it's the y by the x. That can be confusing. Okay, on here the 7 feet 3 inches to inches, we add that 3 on at the end. I just forget about the 3, add it on at the end. I'm going to do 12 over 1 and then put the 7 feet where it goes. Now the other thing, this problem right here, recipe A, 5 dinner rolls takes 1 cup of flour, 24 rolls using 7.5 cups of flour, 45 using 10. Now it says which recipe requires the most cups of flour per roll. So the cups are the y and the rolls are the x. So when I divide, it needs to be 1 divided by 5, okay? The cups by the rolls. 7.5 by 24, 10 by 45. Okay, I know that seems weird, but it says in the rate of change, cups per roll. It's always y per x, so the y has to be the dividend. That needs to be the number we punch in first when I'm dividing. And then you go to 134 in your textbook. If you forgot your textbook, go into the cupboard and get one. Okay. All right, so what I have to say on that. Hope it's been informative, and